Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Margarita. I'm a stay-at-home homeschooling mama of 4 kiddos, and on this channel I share homemaking and motherhood videos. Today I am bringing you along on an afternoon full of homemaking. We just finished homeschooling, so I'm jumping right into prepping dinner and doing some baking. I hope you guys enjoy this video. I am starting off by making my sourdough bread. I have been experimenting with different recipes and techniques for making sourdough bread lately, and today I'm making one with whole wheat flour and the other one is just plain white flour. The art of making sourdough bread is so beautiful and so satisfying. I'm really enjoying it. No two recipes or techniques are 100% the same. There's always something different. So I am trying to find the right technique, the right recipe that works best for us. Today I'm experimenting with baking the bread at 465 for 30 minutes with the lid on and then 10 more minutes with the lid off. After my first loaf is in the oven, I'm starting our dessert for the evening. We picked a case of apples at an orchard, so I decided to make an apple pie to use some of those apples up, and I will link my fail-proof apple pie recipe down below. I've been using it for many years and it never fails. We all love apple pie in our family, especially with a scoop of vanilla ice cream. I mix my apples with cinnamon, flour, and sugar, and I like to top the apples with a few tablespoons of butter. My timer went off, so I am just removing the lid from the Dutch oven and I'm going to let the first loaf bake for 10 more minutes. I always enjoy making the lattice for the top of the pie. It's so satisfying. It's probably the most satisfying part of making a pie, almost as good as eating it. I trim off all the excess dough and pinch the top and bottom together to seal it. Then I just use my knuckle on my right hand and thumb and pointer fingers on my left hand and crimp the edges together. So my first loaf is done. This was the whole wheat loaf. I'm removing it to cool down and placing the Dutch oven back into the oven to preheat before I put my second loaf in. Today I experimented by having one Banneton basket rise on the counter and the other one in the fridge. I found that they both rose the same, but the one in the counter stuck to the liner and I was not able to score it well, and the one from the fridge popped right out nicely and I scored it easily. So I'm adding that to my notes. Always do the last rise in the fridge. My pie is waiting to go into the oven. My whole wheat sourdough bread is cooling down and I am starting on dinner. I decided to make soup on this cold autumn day. I am making borscht. Borscht is a Russian beet and cabbage soup. It is so delicious and goes so well with crusty, fresh bread. But just like sourdough bread, no two people make the soup the same exact way. My mama makes it differently, my sisters make it differently, and I love trying other people's borscht and perfecting mine along the way. I started off by shredding 2 carrots and then chopping up 2 stalks of celery and chopping up 1 bell pepper and onion. And I also prepped the potatoes and cabbage. I start off by sauteing the veggies in a large pot, and while they are sauteing, I will prepare the beets. I'm using 2 beets, which I like to shred, but you can definitely cube them into tiny pieces as well. I'm just not able to cut them small enough to cook fast. With the beets, I found that you need to saute them individually on a skillet just until softened, and then I remove them from the heat. So they are cooked through, but none of the color escapes. I don't add them into the soup until everything is done cooking. That is how I get the beautiful red color. Once the veggies are sauteed and the onion is starting to caramelize like this, I add a couple cloves of garlic. I prefer to crush fresh garlic as opposed to garlic powder, just gives it a deeper flavor. I saute it for a few seconds and then I add 1 can of tomato sauce, followed by 1 can of water, just washing all that tomato sauce out of the can. And the secret to really good soup is the stock. I made my own chicken stock a few days ago. I roast some chicken, drumsticks, or whole chicken every other week, so we always have some bones to make stock with. And I find that stock from roasted bones just goes up a whole new level in the flavor department. I also add some water and then I season the soup with some pepper, salt, basil, and oregano. I add in my diced potatoes, about 2 to 3 cups of shredded cabbage, and 1 can of white beans that have been rinsed, and then I stir everything together and bring it to a boil. I will cook the soup for about an hour on low to medium heat. The soup is ready for the beets once the potatoes are completely cooked through. I add my cooked beets to the pot and stir everything together and let the broth absorb all of the color. It's just going to change the color of your soup. Once everything has been absorbed and mixed thoroughly, I'm going to add some dill. I didn't have any fresh dill, but I do like to keep some frozen dill in the freezer for these kind of cases. So I'm just adding about a tablespoon of chopped dill to the soup. And that's it. The soup is done. I'm going to remove it from the heat, and that is ready to eat. My second loaf of bread is finished baking, so I will let that cool down while I get the pie ready for the oven. I like to brush an egg wash on top of my pie. It just gives it a beautiful golden color. When I'm finished cooking and baking, I clean my kitchen and get the house nice and cozy and ready for the evening. It isn't always easy to put myself out here and share so much of our lives. I get doubts every time I get some rude or negative comments. But then I ask myself, what am I passionate about? Right now, in this season of life, what is something I enjoy doing? Right now, I'm passionate about homemaking. I love all aspects of homemaking: the cooking, the cleaning, the baking. Creating a home we all want to come home to, creating memories for my children. I will continue to do so. I will continue to share the beauty of homemaking. I'm grateful for you guys that take the time to watch my videos and share your positivity. I appreciate every one of you. Thank you. Homemaking doesn't have to be fresh baked bread or an apple pie. It could be lighting a candle, fluffing the pillows on the couch, or taking a few minutes to tidy up the clutter on the counter. It's creating a warm and loving environment to be in. Today I decided we're having a candlelit dinner. Why save the candles for guests? Your family are the most important people in your life. They deserve the candles, they deserve the good dishes more than some guests you see a few times a year. Love on them. Show them you appreciate them. Show them that they are the most important people in your life. I picked up this apple harvest salad kit from Trader Joe's, which looks very exciting to me, being fall and all. So I'm just adding that to a bowl, and I'm going to add a fresh apple to it, even though it does come with apple crisps. I think it's just gonna elevate the flavor. I'm also going to add extra Parmesan cheese to it as well. Okay, it's the moment of truth. I'm always a bit nervous cutting into the sourdough bread, but this time around they turned out beautifully, so I'm very excited. Both of the recipes I tried are keepers, and I will share the recipes I use down below. I'm actually really impressed with the whole wheat one because this is my second time trying whole wheat. The first one was very dense, and this one is very soft and has some air bubbles in it, so it's definitely a keeper. I have been keeping fresh baked bread on the counter underneath a towel for 2 weeks now. As I have been experimenting with my recipes, and I have noticed the kids coming down and sneaking some bread throughout the day. They did not like sourdough and would have never eaten it from the grocery store. But something about the fresh baked bread on the counter draws them in, and I don't blame them. It is indescribable. Well, friends, this is what dinner looked like. The soup was incredible, had so much flavor. The salad was really refreshing. I love the apple in it. The whole wheat sourdough bread was just perfection. After dinner, we had apple pie and ice cream to wrap up our day. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and got some homemaking inspiration and motivation. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.